What if I told you that the reason most of your conversations with women die within the first 2 minutes has nothing to do with your looks, your confidence, or how interesting you are as a person? What if the entire problem came down to a single habit you have been repeating your whole life, without realizing it is slowly killing every interaction before it even gets a chance to breathe? I am going to give you a formula today, a specific sentence structure that I call the magic phrase. And when you understand how to build it and why it works the way it does psychologically, you will be able to walk up to any woman, anywhere, at any time, and make her genuinely want to keep talking to you. Not because you said something impressive, not because you were funny or smooth or perfectly confident, but because you triggered something in her brain that most men never figure out how to reach. This is not theory. This is psychology. And by the time this video is done, you will have everything you need to use it today. Stay with me, because what I am about to break down will completely change how you open and hold conversations with women forever. Here is what is actually happening when a conversation dies. Most men approach a woman and immediately shift into what I call interview mode. Question after question after question. What is your name? What do you do? Where are you from? What do you study? And on the surface, that sounds reasonable, right? You are trying to get to know her. But here is what is happening underneath the surface. In her mind, she is thinking, another boring guy asking me the same questions every other man asks. And in your mind, you are thinking, I need to say something interesting. Why is this so flat? How do I make this better? Both of you are suffering through the same conversation. But here is the deeper problem that most men never see. When you ask question after question, you hand her all the power. You become the one working to keep the conversation alive, while she sits back and either waits for something interesting to happen or waits for a polite way to leave. That dynamic is not attraction. That is an audition. And you are the one auditioning. So what is the solution? One golden rule that I want you to remember from this moment forward. Use statements instead of questions. Think about the conversations you have with your closest friends or family members. How many questions do you actually ask each other? Almost none. You tell stories. You share observations. You make jokes. You say what you think. The conversation flows naturally because nobody is interrogating the other person. Now compare that to a conversation with someone you just met. Suddenly, everything becomes a question, and the whole thing feels stiff and transactional. The magic phrase is the tool that bridges that gap. It creates the feeling of familiarity and comfort with someone you just met. And the way you build it is simple. Anytime you think of asking a question, turn it into a statement instead. Here is the example that makes this click immediately. Instead of asking where are you from, you say you do not seem like you are from here. Are you European? Now I want you to look closely at what just happened in that sentence. First, notice what the sentence is about. It is about her. And here is a psychological truth that changes everything. The favorite subject of every human being on this planet is themselves. We are all wired this way, and women especially love to hear observations and opinions about who they are. The moment you make the conversation about her, her interest level rises instantly. But here is the second thing that makes this sentence so powerful. It contains an assumption, a cold read. You are making a specific guess about her. And that guess does the most important thing a conversation opener can do. It makes her think. If your assumption is correct, she becomes curious about how you read her so accurately. If your assumption is wrong, she becomes curious about why you thought that. In both cases, she is now engaged. She is now asking herself questions about you. And the moment she starts thinking about you, the dynamic of the entire conversation shifts. You are no longer the one chasing her attention. She is now the one leaning toward you. Subscribe to Love IQ right now if this is already clicking for you. We break down the real psychology of attraction every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Let me give you more examples so you can see exactly how to build this in real time. Instead of asking what do you do for work, you say you seem like a creative person. I would guess you work in something design-related or artistic. Instead of asking where did you grow up, you say you do not seem like you grew up around here. There is something about you that feels like you come from somewhere much more interesting. Instead of asking do you have siblings, you say you seem like an only child to me. Or actually no, maybe a middle child. Something about the way you carry yourself. Do you see the pattern? Every single one of those sentences does three things simultaneously. It makes her the subject of the conversation. It includes a specific observation or assumption about her. And it makes her want to respond, correct you, explain herself, or find out why you thought what you thought. That is when the conversation stops being an interview and starts being genuinely interesting. She is no longer answering your questions. She is now talking to you because she wants to. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever had a woman ask you why you said something or why you assumed something about her? Because that moment right there is the magic phrase working exactly as it should. Now here is where most men stop. They learn the magic phrase, they use it, the conversation opens up, and then they immediately fall back into interview mode trying to gather information. And the conversation slowly dies again. Because here is the truth that separates men who can hold a woman's attention from men who cannot. Conversation has nothing to do with the topics you cover. It has everything to do with the emotional current running underneath the topics. Let me say that again because it is critical. Emotional connection is not built on words. It is built on feelings. The feelings behind the words. Most men skim the surface. They ask which university she went to. They ask what city she moved from. They collect facts like they are filling out a form. But women do not bond over facts. Women bond over feelings. So instead of asking where she went to university, ask her what that experience actually felt like. Did it shape who she became? Did it challenge her in ways she did not expect? Instead of just acknowledging that she is a doctor, ask her what it actually feels like to save someone's life. Ask her what made her willing to sacrifice so much for other people. Instead of asking about her siblings, ask about her relationship with them and how those relationships shaped the person she is today. You are not collecting information anymore. You are exploring her inner world. And when a woman feels like someone is genuinely curious about her inner world, not just her external facts, something opens up in her that she does not open for most people. Here is the move that accelerates all of this. If you want her to open up emotionally, you go first. Share something real about yourself before you ask her anything deep. Talk about your own dreams, your own experiences, your own feelings about something. This is not weakness. This is leadership. Because the man who is willing to be real first creates the safety for her to be real in return. And real is where genuine attraction actually lives. Topics like childhood memories, travel experiences, music, and the moments in life that genuinely changed them. These are the emotional entry points that put a woman into a feeling state. And when both of you are operating from a place of genuine feeling rather than polite small talk, connecting becomes effortless. The conversation stops feeling like something you are both managing and starts feeling like something you are both experiencing together. That shift is everything. So here is the complete picture. The magic phrase is built by turning a question into a statement, making her the subject, and including a specific assumption or observation about her. That opens the door and shifts the power dynamic immediately. Then you go deeper by exploring feelings instead of facts, sharing your own inner world to create safety, and leading the emotional current of the conversation rather than following it. When you put all of this together, something remarkable happens. You stop being the man who is trying to impress her. You become the man she is trying to impress. You stop being the man working to keep the conversation alive. You become the man she does not want to stop talking to. And that is not a trick. That is just understanding how human beings actually connect with each other at the deepest level. Try the magic phrase today, not tomorrow. Today, the first time it might feel slightly unfamiliar. Use it anyway, because the only way to own this is to actually do it. And the first time a woman looks at you with genuine curiosity and asks why you said what you said, you will understand exactly what I mean. That is the moment the conversation becomes yours.